Hello, beautiful souls. So, today I have a message, okay? I'm gonna try to deconstruct it for you guys. Yesterday I was hearing something about weaving in time, right? Or time weaving. And since I am like literally weaving, right, for my fiber art, I I didn't pay so much attention, right, to that like vibe or message or whatever, right? And but today I'm feeling different, right? I feel like there is like this connection across time that is being weaved, right? So spiders could be significative, also timelines, time traveling. I feel like there are these two lovers that are kind of separated by time, right? Because today in the morning, I heard this again, like I heard take whatever resonates, okay, switch the rules. But I heard like he's not on your timeline. And and today I was in Fred's, right? I read a thread, and I guess it was from a writer. I don't even know. Okay, it was so random, so divinely random, right? Uh, One could say it was totally coincidence for the non-believers, but it was about that story we saw many times in movies where there is this person who dreams about their soulmate, right? And they know it, her, him. They know the face, right? They can almost feel it. But they're kind of waiting. And you know, guys, I don't like the word waiting, right? Because I think we should all move on, right? For the for the I want to say high priests, high high priestess out there. We should all move on, okay? But this person knows that there's a soulmate out there for them, okay? And and they're waiting for it. It was a really cool story, okay, or a really cool thread, okay, because this person like was a taxi driver, right? And he was talking to a customer, a client. He was saying that he was asking her if she believed in soulmates, and she said, "I guess so," right? And he said, "I know mine," right? And he showed her a picture of her. I dream about her all the time. And so she said, "Why don't you go and meet her?" Right? And he said that it wasn't the time yet because she was only a child. She was only a child, right? And she found that weird, but okay. And he continued with the story, right? He said he knew all his life that she was his soulmate, and so he was waiting. And if she didn't believe him, then she should look for her, right? He gave her an address and said, "Go look for her. She's gonna be like walking the dog at a certain time and a certain address." And so she went, right? And she met an adult. She was kind of confused because it was like an older woman, right? And she told her the story. I talked with this taxi driver, said it was your soulmate. And the woman confirmed, yes, I know him. I've been dreaming about him, right? And this goes on and on. But and but like in the end, it was like they were waiting for each other, right? But he was waiting for her, and he was connecting with her mother, right? While she was while he was expecting her to get born. And then he waited for her in her this is complicated, right? Time, timelines. He waited on her as her granddaughter, right? So it goes on, and for 3 generations, this lover was waiting for this woman. Okay, something happened with this camera. I'm gonna channel, okay, because I have no idea what this message brings, or I kept asking, and so how it's to meet, right? We saw it in movies. There's like this movie of the lake. I think that's what's called, right? With Keanu Reeves and some woman where they are separated by time. Okay. I don't know why, but I want to say that there's the question of the war here too. It was like in past lives, these people were separated by war. Okay, and there are so many stories about this, right? Where we are now, as people are traveling the world more and more and more and more, right? We are reconnecting with those parts of ourselves that was lost before, whether we are the masculine now, right? Who's going to heal the karma he had on those places, right? I don't know, I'm seeing Vietnam, or I'm seeing, right? Where we have like lost parts of our soul in those places, right? Or we are connecting to those people that we had to separate over wars, over, right? Before. Don't know why this is so significant here. But so I wanted to understand if these lovers that are like separated by timelines are gonna come back again. Gonna take some cards maybe. Second. Okay, I know what's happening. I took the tower, the page of wands, the king of pentacles, the queen of pentacles, sorry. We are the queen of pentacles. The queen of cups in reverse, okay, and the eight of swords in the end. Okay, I guess the cards confirm, but I was getting like this channeling. Okay, I feel like, okay, I feel like you are take whatever resonates, okay, but I feel like you have a special ranking, okay, spiritually talking. You are going somewhere, okay. I feel like you harvest several lifetimes, okay. Maybe you are ahead. Maybe you are ahead of your lover, okay, in some way. It could be that this is in maturity levels, where it's spiritually speaking. But I also feel like you are walking in a sovereignty path. Okay, that's why there's the tower here. I feel like this separation is due to to you living a big cycle of like of codependency, okay, or like being too good, you know, path, the empath path, living all of this to fully do the purpose of your soul, right? We know that we are supposed to love people, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But I feel like this love is, or was, or will be pushing you into a path of giving too much, of you know, of the Eight of Swords, right? And so I feel like there is this tower, there is the separation within the lines of time. For you to really rise up to your highest potential, to your sovereignty, to your best feeling. You know that God separates people sometimes because He wants the best of the best for us. We talked this before, right? He wants the best of the best. And if it's not the best, or if for some way you're leaving yourself, right, to give energy to somebody else, and you are in this path of becoming God, okay? Because it's always put God first, and that means putting your own self first, right? If for some reason you are caving into the sin of praising false gods, right? Even if this is your lover, because the beloved, man, okay, I'm going there. God is clingy, okay? God is jealous. God is possessive. He wants you all to himself. He doesn't want you to praise false gods. He doesn't want, you know, he wants you all to himself. So, unless you can do this, and like this is crazy, right? Because this is like, this is kind of crazy because at least for people who are empaths, right? For people who gave it all, okay? It's crazy work, right? To be able to host a relationship only to yourself and with nothing else outside, and to pay no attention to anything outside, and to not consider anything from outside of yourself, right? Because all our lives we were conditioned to look outside, right? And so for us to fully become gods within ourselves is work, right? Is work, right? You know, it's very easy to see to distinguish a real prophet from a false one, and you see it by his speech, right? He always talks to himself, and when you are talking to yourself or towards God, which is the same thing, right? You are, right? But if you are talking to another, then you are not yourself. Don't know if this makes sense, but whatever. We were talking about these lovers, right? And God, God is first. You are first, right? And for some other reason, you're still have those little tendencies of loving something more than yourself. The separation is gonna be needed, right? I know you. I know you are being super strong, okay? And some people maybe envy you, or some people maybe want to be like you, right? But they don't understand. They don't understand that power that they see, right? That fullness that you have, that wholeness that you hold, right? That self-confidence that you have is because you love so much, right? And they sometimes try to imitate your power without even getting near to the levels of love you have towards you all, right? If we have confirmation, if we have to get out of ourselves to the levels of the love you hold for humanity, because you hold humanity within, right? And so God wants you to stay on that path, okay? And I feel like in divine timing, and I want to say that this divine timing is tied, is the full integration of yourself, the full happiness of yourself, the full fullness of yourself, the full, you know, that's why they come when you're most happy, when you're like, when you're super focused on your purpose, on your mission. That's why they come back, you know, because you're in a high vibration, right? So I guess that in divine timing, when you don't care, right? When you least expect it, when you're most full, everything comes. I guess that was the message. Expect a change, okay? Mostly within yourself. Thank you so much for being there, guys. If you want to support this channel, you know what to do. Put a like, comment, subscribe, become a member, okay? Thank you so much for your support, okay? If you want to donate to the channel, I would appreciate so much. I have bills too, you know. What else? What else? I love you so much, and I guess I'll see you soon. Bye.